Hi everybody, it is February 4th, 2019. I do have a public service announcement. If this MAGA hat is your trigger item, suicide may be right for you. That's been a public service announcement. What I want to really talk about is now we've seen a bunch of these leftist Democrats running up, announcing their bids for president. And it's one leftist kook after another talking about what they're going to snatch and steal from people that produce in this country and give it to the non-producers. You know, your basic wealth distribution. And what I don't understand is they tell us our system of government was made by old white guys. But Karl Marx was an old white guy. Go figure that one out. But I want to know what these children are being taught in these government schools. Obviously isn't civics and history. They're proficient at putting condoms on cucumbers and boys wearing dresses and girls swinging hammers. What I don't understand is how can the most murderous system of government that's ever been devised be touted as something new and exciting that we should embrace? Liberty is all we should be embracing. And they say, well, look at the wealth, the difference in wealth between rich and poor. Well, all I do is ask you is, what's the wealth difference in these socialist communist countries? You might have a poor, and you have a rich, and you have middle class, low middle class, upper middle class, all sprinkled in. Now you take Venezuela, North Korea, Cuba, any of these countries that have dictatorships. You could take Zimbabwe, the African countries, the Middle Eastern countries, everyone that had dictatorships. Even in China, you have the government class, which is pretty wealthy or upper middle class, and then you have everybody else, which is dirt poor. They don't have consistent power. And you look at any of these satellite maps of these countries at nighttime. North Korea is dark. Venezuela is dark. Cuba is dark. The only place that's light is around the capital, around the government people. So, you're taking a system that's, for anybody that wants to apply themselves to do right by themselves and right by their families and create something for themselves, is a bad system of government, and these evil white men created it. But you could take these other systems of government that smash liberty, that smash all economic barriers, and keep the population poor and the government class rich. So that way they can afford the food to stay healthy and well fed, and they can afford the weapons. But what do you get? You get to stand online for rice and toilet paper, and hopefully after 4 to 6 hours, you may get some. And if you get mad about it and have a tantrum online, you most likely will be dragged to jail, if not just shot in the street, to be an example to somebody. I don't understand what goes, well, obviously a lot of these useful idiots are nothing more than friggin' hat racks. They got nothing else going on inside of their fucking heads. That's what I don't understand. A lot of these people, though, I'll admit, they're just doing it for a paycheck. When George Soros comes, I'll give you $15 a fucking hour to stand there and go, USA bad, USA bad. And I guess if you're just some slouch that does nothing to do, you'll go do it. But there are more and more people that think this system of government is somehow evil. But they have never even learned about the system of governments that they're embracing as murderous. Pol Pot killed millions. Mao Zedong killed, oh my God, 60 to 80 million. Some say as much as 100 million. Stalin killed 50, 60 million people, I believe. And even in Cuba, Castro killed tens of thousands of his own people. Venezuela's killing and disappearing their own people. North Korea's killing. That fucking leader kills his own family members on a whim. You think he's not killing his citizens? I don't want a murderous dictatorship running our country. And if you don't think these fake fucking leftists aren't the beginning of a murderous regime, you're out of your fucking mind. It's where it all starts. As promises that they're going to give you guys something and somebody else was the bad guy. It was the Jews that were the bad guys. Africa, it was the blacks that were the bad guys. There's always dissidents that are the bad person, that if we can eliminate those people, and it's usually the people that are the biggest opposition to these leftist authoritarians. So now, in America, it's the big bad white people. Because the big bad white people want liberty, and liberty for all. See, we were happy because to make things equal for everybody. There shouldn't have been as much discrimination and segregation as there was. But we're going from let's be equal to kill the once oppressors, which aren't even our oppressors anymore. The people in this generation weren't oppressed, and the people in this generation were not the oppressors. Just like same with reparations. The people that want reparations have been dead and gone for decades, for generations, from the Civil War. It doesn't make sense. Go with the American Constitution. Look at the candidates that are going to restore our republic. We are not a democracy, we're a republic. Watch how these friggin' idiots call us a democracy. They want a democracy because they want a 51% of idiots to say, that's what we want. Like, they got the cities locked down. That's what the Electoral College is for. So that way a few small areas throughout the country don't run roughshod over the whole country. Because what people need in Arizona, what people do in Idaho, what people do in Montana is much, much different than what people do in Los Angeles, California, and fucking North New Jersey. You can't have one national identity. We are just too friggin' vast. And speaking of which, that's what I gotta say about that. We are voting, at least I am voting for the Republican candidate, which will probably most likely be Donald Trump, which I am very happy with what he's been doing. I understand when he backs off of things and where he's going. I'm starting to understand how his mind works. And we'll see what happens on the 15th of February when the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi fuck us. And guarantee it's going to happen. He's not getting money for that border wall. And he's going to do it on his own. And he will be cheered for it. I want to talk about one more local issue. And that is fucking New Jersey. Phil Murphy is going to sign the bill to raise our minimum wage to $15 an hour. Now, what I want to say is, when New Jersey hits the dumps, don't think for 1 minute Donald Trump did this. Because I'll tell you what, at $15 an hour, a lot of jobs are going to go away. A lot of jobs are going to be, and a lot of jobs that were decent jobs at one time are going to be little more than minimum wage jobs. Because there's going to be inflation. For what companies can't cut employees to gain some of that profit back, they're going to have to raise prices. And you thought you were making a good wage, a decent wage, it's not going to be so decent anymore. So we're going to have a lot of labor problems in this country. In this state. So I want people to watch out for that. Phil Murphy signs a $15 an hour in the law. We're going to go by the way of, I think Seattle did it, and it busted their economy. And that was just one city. We're going to do it as a state. We're going to bust this economy open. You watch. You think somebody like Phil Murphy, see, that's what I don't understand. You get these fucking morons that say, oh, I ran Goldman Sachs. I don't think you ran shit. I think you were a fucking puppet. Because you apparently don't know dick when you get to be governor of a state. Everybody knows you're going to fucking blow the economy out of the water by raising. You're almost doubling the fucking minimum wage. What do you think that's going to do to people's bottom lines, the companies' bottom lines? They are going to knock off the people they got working close to minimum wage because it's not going to be worth to have them. And other people are going to have to pick up the slack. They're going to have to work harder. And once inflation starts hitting because of the prices that did go up and the people they couldn't lay off because they do need the labor, those prices are going to skyrocket. And the people that were making decent money, it's not going to be so decent anymore. This state is a perpetual ass fucking. I'm telling you 100%. This government of this state of New Jersey does not give a minute's rest of stealing your wealth, stealing your liberty, and just bending you over and fucking bare butt fucking you every second of every fucking day of every week of every year. This state sucks balls. It's got to be one of the worst. That's why we're 49th and 50th in most every fucking category. Anything that's shitty, yeah, we're number one in. We had a low gas tax. Wow, we got fucked out of that. It's one of the good things about New Jersey. No, they couldn't have us have one good thing, a low gas tax. So, you like your ass fucking fucked raw? Come here. This is the good state. I can't wait to fucking retire. I'm getting so far out of it. I'm getting out of here. I'm not even turning around and pissing on it. Be out of here so fucking fast. Alright, that's what I want to say. And if any other state fucking wants to do $15 an hour, you guys better fight it. Because if you get it, you're fucked. I'm telling you, you're going to be fucked in the long run. We have what they call a veto-proof majority now because people went and said, oh man, I like getting fucked without lube. I'm voting Democrat. We got one fucking Republican congressman in the whole fucking state. 4th district. Shame. Alright guys, try to have a good one. I know it's a lot of negativity, but boy oh boy, it's coming. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a freak show, the Democrat primaries. And it might be entertaining. So let's see what happens. Alright everybody, have a good day. And retake your fucking liberty, motherfuckers. Because these jerk-off leftists are coming for it. Retaking liberty, motherfucker!